I'm realizing that not every single purchase that we make has to be well thought out and calculated. Sometimes the funnest and the most exciting things you find are when you were walking into an H&M on a Tuesday. Shell details everywhere. Earrings, accessories, necklaces, handbags, shoes. I can do better. What's the point? Why did you do that? I still get delighted. Oh, it has a pocket, I'm buying it. Cool, you know, girly or flirty. Spoiler alert, if you're a model, it's gonna look good on you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am here to share with you my year of 5Finds March and what I found clothing and accessory wise. Maybe one of them is right here, for the month of March. I had quite a lot of returns this month, and I'm not sure why that is, but there were some online purchases that I made that just didn't turn out the way that I had hoped they would. And it's really that process of like really putting a lot of thought into whether or not I want to keep this item that I think is the reason I'm returning things more than I ever have before. My last video that I posted was about the 5 things that I've learned so far from this whole year of 5Finds experience. And one of those things was knowing the difference between like versus love, because we can't buy every single thing that we like. We really have to love it and have a reason to own it because we just really love it and it makes us feel a certain way, or that it fills like a void that we had in our closet. Like more times than not, when you really love something, you just have like an emotional response to it, that you feel cool, or you feel like, you know, girly or flirty, or there's just normally a feeling that I think you should have when you try something on. It should just make you feel a certain way. And so there are a few things that I returned that I probably would have maybe kept because I liked them. They were okay, but they just didn't give me all the feels. And so that is sort of my like radar now, is I kind of feel like I have to have like an instant emotional response to like absolutely loving it or finding absolute joy in this piece. And of course, some of the things that I'm going to show you in a minute that I ended up keeping are things that I had a complete reaction to and have brought me joy. Okay, so I have a lot of things to show you that I returned. So let me kind of go through like just the returns first, and then at the end I'll show you the finds. Okay, so first up, I've already returned some of these things, but I've either talked about them on Instagram and so I can show me wearing them as I talked about them in stories, or I just have a photo of them. So the first thing is, I've already returned it, but is a pair of Everlane wide leg crops. So I had been curious about these pants for a little while because I'm trying to shop a little bit more responsibly. I mean, I think just shopping less altogether is a responsible thing in its own that I kind of want to talk about at some point. But shopping responsible, conscious brands is something that I just want to have put on my radar. And so I'd already seen these pants on their website. I love wide leg pants, particularly wide leg cropped pants, but I don't really own a pair of structured wide leg crop pants, like a jean, which is another thing that I tried and I returned from Madewell, I'll get to in a second, or these ones which are more of like a twill weight. But I'd seen a lot of people talk about these wide leg crops from Everlane on Instagram, and they looked great on a lot of people that I'd seen try them on. Particularly, I think they look really great on tall, thin people. So, spoiler alert, if you're a model, these are gonna look good on you. But so these Everlane crops, I'll show you, I'll insert a video of me trying them on Instagram. They just were something that I think they just didn't feel right. When I was watching the footage back, it kind of looked okay. It didn't look awful. It wasn't like, whoa, you should not get those. Ultimately, I just didn't feel great in them. So there were just a lot of things that just the way that they fit me around like the hip, stomach area, they just didn't feel comfortable. And they almost felt like maybe the length was a little strange on me. So I just returned those. Not gonna try those in another size or another format. Okay, so the next thing was the Madewell wide leg crops, which I also alluded to, that I returned. These got quite a response on Instagram. So many people were like, oh my gosh, those are so cute, you should absolutely keep those. And as it's interesting, and I've talked about this before, that if you're not sure you like something, I think that you should either take a picture or take a video and see it. Like your eyes that see things in the mirror are different than your eyes when you're like looking at yourself as like from a video or like an outside perspective. Does that make sense? So I've tried on some things before that I didn't think I liked, but since I sometimes take pictures or video of myself for YouTube or Instagram, I look at them after the fact and I'm like, oh my god, I actually do look good in those. Like, why didn't I buy those? And sometimes I've gone back and bought things based off of the video I took. I just wasn't seeing it with the same eyes like in the mirror. And this was one of those things where when I looked back at it, I was like, those actually are pretty cute. I do like those, but they didn't feel cute on me. And so while I did like them, looking back at them, I didn't love how I felt in them, and I just don't want to own things that I don't love how I feel in them. And so that's the reason that I returned those. Okay, so the next couple of things I'm returning I can show you was from Anthropologie. I have a pair of wide leg, again, see I love wide leg cropped pants, just not structured ones I guess, but I have a pair of wide leg flowy cropped pants from Anthropologie. They are beautiful, deep emerald green. I've probably talked about them multiple times here. They brought them back in a little bit different weight material, a little bit heavier weight, but not like structured or anything, still super flowy. So they brought them back in a lot of different colors, and I bought them. I bought, was $120, but this was during an Anthro day, and so it was less 20% off of all this stuff. I am keeping one thing that I got that I'll talk about on the finds part of this video in a little bit. But these pants right here, what actually is the material of these? So it's lyocell and linen. And the pants that I have, I don't know what they are, but they feel much more silky and more lightweight. And I actually like this material. I don't have a problem with this material. It's just the fit. For some strange reason, the fit on these is a little bit different than the more lightweight fabric that I really liked in the green ones that I have. So I don't know, it was one of those things where I was standing in the mirror going like, why don't I love this as much? Why does this like fall different? Just like sat different. Okay, so I also really wanted to get some rattan accessories because I have a few rattan handbags and I love them. They're just such a great like throw on with anything in the summer, and it just screams summer. It's like once you own something rattan or jute or wicker or sisal, like you understand why, because it's just like the material screams summer. It also completely goes with everything, and it adds a little bit of texture to an outfit that is just so nice. And so I think that's the reason why like it's just everywhere. And so I wanted to add a couple of different accessories that weren't handbags into my wardrobe. And I knew that I wanted an earring. And so these are the earrings that I bought from Anthropologie. They're $38, but I got them 20% off. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to see really well. They're wicker. They just feel kind of cheap for what they are. And I just wasn't ultimately impressed with them. And I've seen recently like so many different fun shapes where just more substantial and maybe a little thicker. This for some reason, it just like there's a lot of like little loose ends popping out. I don't know. They have these in black as well. I just wasn't like super in love with them. But again, this is one of those things that I might have kept these if I wasn't being super picky. But since I am, I'm like, I can do better. So this is one of those situations where you're on Anthropologie's website and you're like, well, it's Anthro days, it's 20% off everything. I'm just gonna add a couple of these into my cart. And so I did, knowing full well that I might return them, which I'm going to, but I just wanted to try them out. So headbands, rattan headbands. I was like, oh, I'll try this. This one was $28, this one's $18. So this one right here is like a thicker wicker, and it has this little knot right here. I do own a headband like this that I got from Anthropologie a couple of years ago, and I don't wear it a lot. I don't wear headbands a lot, but I thought, oh, it's this natural material, maybe it would be so cute in the summer. And for some reason, the one that I own, I only wear it with my hair up because I don't like the way it looks on me with my hair down. It's just like, I'm never gonna feel right about it. But if I had my hair like in a ponytail or back, even here, I'm like, what am I, the queen? Like it just looks strange. Anyways, so this one is a no. This one I thought was interesting because it's this light raffia almost with kind of, it's almost like a creamish gray. It's not exactly satin, but just like material coming through here. And again, this look isn't good for me. Like even if I do it this way, I don't know. That's not as bad. That I could do. But again, I'm like talking myself into buying it. I don't need to talk myself into buying an $18 headband that I'm not going to wear very often. You know what I mean? So anyway, if you're looking for these though, Anthropologie has some. And if you're somebody who looks really cute in a headband, I highly suggest this because it would go with a lot of things and it just screams summer. So I think it's like the perfect summer thing to get. Okay, now on to the things I'm actually keeping, my 5Finds for March. So this one I feel like I bought so long ago because I'm filming this within like the first week of April. So I probably bought this on like the first day of March. And this was an impulse buy. This was something, I was at Target. This is the Who What Wear collection. It's a long midi skirt. Just cruising through and was like, you know what? I'm gonna try that on. And tried it on. Loved it. So it's just this really pretty green material with white and black like polka dots on it, and it buttons all the way down, which is really fun. And I wasn't expecting it to have pockets because it feels like a satiny material. It's actually 100% polyester, which I'm fine with. It'll probably be really hot in the actual middle of the summer though. But I was surprised that it had pockets. I don't know why at this day and age anyone would make anything without a pocket at this point. Like, we all know this, like just make everything have a pocket. But I don't know why, to the same point, that sometimes I try on something like this that's like long and flowy and I'm like, oh my God, there's a pocket. I still get delighted. And so that was the thing where I was like, I like this. I think I like this. And then I was like, oh, it has a pocket. I'm buying it. Why do we do this? But yeah, so I like this. And I like that you can sort of, because it has the buttons, you can unbutton it a lot if you want and make it really like open. So if you cross your legs, you can have like full leg out, or you can be super modest and have all the buttons all the way down. I've already worn this out. This particular skirt runs strange. This is a size 6. I'm not a size 6. I mean, it's high-waisted, and my like high waist in the middle is definitely a lot smaller than my hips and butt area. So being that this can be like a high waist, I was trying to get it to fit like the smallest part of my waist, which you can't see, I'm like doing that. I tried the 8 on and it just fell like further down my waist, and it made the skirt overall like really long. It just felt too heavy being like all the way to the floor. I needed a little ankle to show to give it a little bit of like lightness to it, and so that's why I went with the 6. This is something that I would really love with a white denim jacket, which is on my list. Still looking for that, but this has been a fun find and I really liked it. Okay, the next thing that I purchased was also a complete impulse buy. So I'm realizing that not every single purchase that we make has to be well thought out and calculated and sought after. Sometimes the funnest and the most exciting things you find are when you were walking into an H&M on a Tuesday and you found a pair of high-waist trousers for $15 at H&M. Yeah, that's what these are. $15.99, I believe. I love these so much. So they're a really, really dark emerald green, which is one of my favorite colors. And they're super high waist. And what I loved about these, they have these little buttons on the side that are not functioning, but it's almost like a paper bag waist without having like a tie, which I've never seen a paper bag looking style without a big tie. This just has one huge zipper that goes really, really high up. But I love it. I love that style on me. This is completely like, you know, a workwear style trouser. But these are ankle length. They're kind of just like a straight leg ankle length. And they have big deep pockets again, which is, I love when pockets are really deep. You can really get your hand in there. I hate stupid shallow pockets that you're like, meow, what's the point? Why did you do that? I love these. I think these are a size 10. Yeah, I like these a lot. $15. Score. Okay, so the next thing is this dress from J. Crew. You might have seen this all over your Instagram because I've seen a lot of people talking about this dress recently. I saw it from Carla Reed, who I follow on Instagram. She was just talking about like a sale that was happening at J. Crew, and she was showing pictures just on her computer of things that she was thinking of getting. And so as soon as she showed this one, I was like, oh, I want to get that. And I don't really shop at J. Crew a ton, and I talked about in my last video about how things that I've learned from shopping less, and that there's always going to be another sale, and that J. Crew recently has been on sale all the time, and it's sort of one of those things where you don't even want to buy it if it's regular price because it's about to be on sale. And so this was on sale. I think this was originally $128. I got it for $89. It also comes in black, it also comes in white, and I think I've seen it in like an ECAT print of varying colors. But this is like, they call it caramel, so I think depending on what like eye you look at it with, it can sort of seem like it leans more caramely, browny, mustardy, but I love it. It has this big tiered skirt with these pom-poms. It has this drawstring waist that hits right at the waist, and this is such a great style of dress for me because it's more fit and flare, which looks good on my body type. Functioning buttons and this really cute flouncy sleeve, and I normally don't love a really flouncy sleeve, but for some reason this one, like, it just works. It's very nice. I got this in a size 8. It also has big deep pockets. It's just super comfortable. It's very well made. It's lined underneath. And more than anything, I just feel like it's one of those things that I had like an immediate reaction to when I tried it on. I was just like, oh, this is comfortable. I feel so like girly and like I'm ready for spring and summer. And it's just one of those things where I had an immediate reaction to. And it's just so fun and flirty and swingy and girly and just the epitome of like spring and summer to me. So then, since I liked that dress so much, there was another sale on J. Crew like the next week for 40% off, I think it was, and I bought the shirt version in white. So they have it in a shirt version, but this was originally $89 and I got it on sale for $53.70. So this basically has like all the same detail except the bottom, it just ends up being a peplum, and the bottom has this sort of like, not rickrack, but like, I don't know, this cute little edge right there. It's just super light and airy, and I just think it's really fun. Okay, and the final thing that I alluded to in the beginning of this video is these earrings. So I bought these from Anthropologie when they were having the Anthro days, so it was 20% off. So these were originally $48, which is a little much. Not bad for an Anthropologie accessory though, but I got them for about, I would say about $38. So I was noticing when I was shopping recently, like even at H&M and then when I was on Zara's website, Anthropologie's website, that shells are about to be a really big deal for spring and summer. I've seen them everywhere. And that's something that when I was in H&M, I saw a couple of different shell accessories that I hands down would have bought. They just weren't as like special or as well crafted as this exact one is that I ended up getting, which is like this hoop. And they're not hot glued on or anything because I could see them popping off. It's almost like there's very, very fine gauge fish wire or fish line that is holding them on, and so it feels secure and I don't feel like one's gonna pop off or anything, which is nice. And for spending, you know, the regular price is almost $50, you want them to be very well made, and so I feel like these are very well made. But yeah, I've seen so many earrings, accessories, necklaces, handbags, shoes, shell details everywhere. And again, it's like the rattan. I think that the shell accessory is something where it adds an interesting texture to your outfit, but it instantly makes it spring or summer or vacation or beachy, and it kind of goes with everything. And so this is one of those things that it's like, oh, what do I wear? I've got, you know, this dress on, what am I gonna pop on with it? Like, oh, well, this will go with everything. And so I love having pieces in your wardrobe like that where it's like, it's just gonna go with everything. It's sort of a no-brainer. So you get a lot of bang for your buck with that. And so I'm happy to have these ones. And for April, one of my finds will probably be a better, more substantial rattan or wicker earring. All right, well, those are all of my finds for March. I would love to know if you found something for the month that you have loved too. I would love to hear about it. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you found or what you're looking for. In my last video, I talked about how I'm looking for a white denim jacket with gold buttons. So that's something that I'm massively on the hunt for. A few of you gave me suggestions from my last video. So thank you very much for that. And we'll see if that makes a place in my finds for April. And that's everything. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you again in another video real soon. Bye.